I've been communicating with your friend Justin Patty,
Yeah.
fishing guide, and you know, he's going to be taking me out. He's very knowledgeable. I've been in the industry for years, and and I know a good guide. Thank you very much.
Yes, Justin's.
Yeah, and he says I'm not going to take you if we're not going to catch fish. And I've, other guides would have taken me, and they'd say,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh well, you should have been." I was thinking about not going, but. And he's not like that. He says I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this because I want to
Catching fish,
I
yeah.
want to catch fish. So if we could maybe give him a call, he said he'd be open for a fishing report.
Yeah.
Do you have his you have his number?
Yeah, I've got his number.
Okay.
Somewhere in here.
So you mean to tell me that Dawn drags you guys out of bed this early too?
Yeah, I have to get up at 3. We have to
3?
leave at 4 to get here in time.
Where do you live at?
30 miles west of Gila Bend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it only took me about not quite 40 minutes.
Where are you at?
I'm over by Desert Ridge.
Oh, okay.
Over there we stayed.
What are you, right off the 101?
I'm not sure where I'm at, but it's like I'm so unfamiliar with this area because we're not from here. Last night I got caught on the freeway in between the lights, and then cars were coming and turning, and they came right at me because
Oh, no.
I didn't know where I was at.
Yeah.
And they were honking at me, flashing lights, and I was freaking out
Oh,
because we
no.
had to take our dog to the emergency last night.
Oh, no. Is it okay?
Yeah, she's fine. Here she is. Dawn.
Oh, she's
Oh my goodness.
precious.
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 10.
Oh, my goodness.
She's got a collapsed trachea. She's got heart condition, and she couldn't breathe. And my wife was panicking, and it was just, I felt bad.
Okay, guys, we're getting ready to go here.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. And it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. Looks like we're going to have it all week, so keep your powder dry. We got a lot of stuff going on. We need the water, and oh my goodness, we've got quite a bit of rain coming in today, and throughout the week, it's going to affect a lot of things. The hunting season is in full swing. Fishing season, it's in full swing, but we're in a transition mode. The fish are getting scrambled, moving up, moving down, pulling out, and suspending to a certain extent. So, you get your jigging spoons out. And anyway, we'll follow that up and see what's going on Roosevelt with James Guggenauer. Time certain, 8:30, we'll be talking to Chris Rich. I know he's been up messing around in the White Mountains with a fly rod. It's always good catching some really big fish. We'll try to get Coffee and Chaos with Captain Chemo. I'm not sure what part of the planet he is in right this minute. And then we've got a really, really special guest here that I want to introduce you to. Our new good friend, Brian Wong from downtown Panama Way.
Good.
Brian now is I'm going to say, you correct me if I'm wrong, he's an exotic destination angler, former tackle store owner in California, so we're not going to hold it against him that he's from California. So the buzzword is from, so that's good. That's good. Welcome.
Good morning, Don. Thank you for having me here. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, this is fun. You've heard David Fields, Fishing the Americas. David's been with us. He's been a contributor since, oh my gosh, I want to say 2004. I mean, we've been on there 25 years, and David's always been here. So I'm gonna text into him. We'll see if we can make communications with him. But anyway, I appreciate you coming in today. I know you had a little bit of an issue with your pooch, and I hope she does well.
Yeah, she's doing great now. Little medication doesn't hurt anyone, right?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Take your meds.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really great to be here. Unfortunately, I'm not here on a vacation. Having
Yeah, that's for sure.
some health issues, but I gotta give a shout out to Mayo Clinic and the folks out there, the doctors, the nurses, everyone there so far has just been absolutely fantastic in the service that they provide, for me at least, and I hope everyone else that
Yeah, they're
has
supposed to be
go
the
there.
best of the best. What type of treatment, if you don't mind, are you having to go through?
Yeah, well, a few years ago I was blessed with 3 cancers
Uh-oh.
all at the same time, and after being treated out in California, we decided to move from the wine country, Northern California, to Panama. And my wife and I, we researched the best destinations in the world to retire, and we came upon Panama. We went out there, we checked it out, and we fell in love with the place and contacted the attorney, got the paperwork rolling, and now we're residents of Panama. We've been there since June of last year.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
What was the catalyst to make you choose Panama?
Well,
I mean, there's lots of places.
there's lots of places, but if you're old like me, and
I'm older than you are. Stop it. Yeah.
if you're old like me, the benefits of living in Panama for retirees is you get discounts on your meals, you get discounts on your flights that originate there, you get discounts on medical benefits, entertainment. It just, the list goes on, and it's already more affordable than any other place that I've lived, other than, I've lived in California my whole life, but all the places that I've traveled
Yeah,
to.
anything's got to be better than California.
Oh my God, it's just so wonderful there. The people are just so friendly.
How's the political mood?
No one really talks about politics there. It's although
Really?
yeah, although there's a little bit of concern about us losing the Panama Canal, but my next door neighbor, who's a one of the boat pilots that moves the container ships in and out of the Panama Canal, he says there's nothing to worry about there. And people ask me all the time, is it safe being there? And it's probably one of the safest places that I've ever lived in.
Well, there's a big U.S. Military presence, and I think it's going to get stronger.
Not much of a military presence at all.
They're there. Trust me.
I'm sure they're there, but just being
Yeah.
and living there.
Are you familiar with the term peekaboo?
I've heard about it.
Yeah, peekaboo. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're there.
Yeah. But
Well, that's fascinating.
but I think like anywhere you go, if you're looking for trouble, you'll find it,
Oh, no problem.
and you just don't go where you're not supposed
I'm
to
walking
go.
probable cause.
Yeah, I'm just there to live on the beach, go fishing, and enjoy living there. And looking out your window here, Don, it's like if you were sitting in our living room, this is what the view would look like, except it would be all ocean.
Oh, nice. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
incredible.
there's some pretty dandy fishing down there, for sure. What's the gun ownership like down there?
Don't know anything about it. I don't think that there's much gun ownership. I believe that you could get guns there, but I don't own a gun, so don't know much about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, because we're, big Second Amendment folks here, and we carry. We'll talk offline with some of the stuff we're doing, But your fishing destinations down there, how much fishing do you actually get to do living right there on the Gulf?
I fish about 2 times a month, and like any good angler would know, there are the sweet spots of each month, and literally it comes down to days and hours.
Of course.
and so I pretty much have the guides hired a month, 2 months in advance, the days that I want to go, the time that I want to be there, and the species that I want to catch. And so I'm fishing for grouper, red snapper, a fish called corvina.
Oh man, yeah.
Which is brand new to me, because out in California, the closest thing to a corvina is a striped bass,
Oh, of course.
which I absolutely love to catch, and I love to eat them too.
Oh, they're tasty.
Yeah, and so besides the local fishing, I work with a fishing lodge, Sportfish Panama Island Lodge, and if anyone's ever traveled to Panama before, this is comparable to the top destinations for saltwater fishing that you'll ever go to. It's just incredible.
It's outstanding. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How about freshwater?
Not much fresh water there.
No.
I heard there is some, but I haven't found it yet. And with the saltwater fishing being so good,
Why would you?
why would I try to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my fill of it, largemouth bass back in the wine country for the last, 65 years. So, I'm really into the saltwater fishing now.
There's absolutely nothing like it. I've got over 2,000 days over on the Pacific side, Sea of Cortez, Gulf of America, some other destinations, and it's saltwater. The cool part about it is, it's like a box of chocolate kind of thing. You never know what you're going to get. You can be right in the middle of a bluefin bite, and here comes a yellowtail. And it's like, wow, this is fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, what I like about Panama is the place that I'm talking about in particular. I used to work at a fishing lodge in Costa Rica called Crocodile Bay, and had some phenomenal fishing.
Oh yeah.
And over the years, I've sent many clients all around the world for different types of fishing, Tropic Star, Crocodile Bay, but
Yeah, those are all big names, boy, for sure.
yeah, and still are. But over the years, they've gotten very big. They've gotten very busy, and that's why Sportfish Panama Island Lodge in Boca Chica, Panama, is like the place now, because it only accommodates 20 people per week, and the fishing, you're at a lodge 12 miles offshore
Oh,
on
my
an
God.
island, and it's just, the fishing is wide open.
Okay, now this resort, is it on an island? It's got to be 12 miles offshore.
On an island.
One way in, one way out.
That's right. And the great thing about it is you don't have to spend an hour to hour and a half travel time each morning.
That's key.
So you're getting like 2 to 3 hours a day fishing, more than you would anywhere else.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, that's one of the key things. There's only one other place like that, East Cape. Have you had an opportunity to fish the East Cape?
Absolutely. I've fished down there. That was one of my first international fishing
Wow,
destinations.
I love it.
Yeah, when I had my store, which I owned in San Rosa, Northern California, I started taking clients down to Loretto. down
Oh,
there.
nice, yeah.
And I'd gone there like 20 plus times.
Oh, yeah,
Caught the mahi-mahi,
yeah. Did
yellowfin.
you get your grand
tuna.
slam on the billfish?
Oh my God, it was just incredible there.
Yeah, I love it.
But the fishing isn't like it used to be,
No, it's not.
but is it anywhere?
Yeah. No, things are changing, but hang on, we've got to do some business for our sponsors and take a break here on Fox Sports 910. I'm Don McDowell with our new friend.
Brian Wong.
There he is, in person. We'll be right back. I'm not seeing Captain Bill's schedule. Did you fish out of San Diego at all?
Never have. I'm not into the staying on a boat for 3 days.
Oh,
and-
the cattle boat? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like to go out, fish, come back, have my fish cooked for me, sleep in a nice bed with some privacy, and then get up in the morning and go out again.
I hear you. I like sleeping on the boat.
Yeah. But I got spoiled all these years with my trips because, Alaska, Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama, all these different destinations. And because I was the group escort, I got to go for free.
Yeah.
And, how many people get to go on these exotic fishing destinations that are like $5,000 or $10,000 a week, and it's just like there's nothing like it.
Yeah. I got to doing charters over there. I started, I think I went there in 1970, I want to say 72, and the rest of it's history. Being on the ocean is just it's almost a religious experience, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And really loved it. Kept going back. Next thing I know, I was crewing on a 56 footer. Next thing I know, I was driving the 56 footer. And it just one of the things we did, when the migratory pelagics went away, that boat converted to dive, sport diving. So the next thing I know, I'm taking a diver's course because my job was to check the divers in and out. And if something happened and somebody had to go in the water, I wasn't qualified.
Yeah.
So I went all the way to carrying 3 different dive certifications, all the way up to dive instructor and dive master, and which was fun because we got to dive places we were fishing, and seeing what's down there it's a big bonus.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Well, with the underwater cameras nowadays, and then they're hooking it on their lines and dropping it down,
yeah.
and they could see the fish bite or not.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I think it would drive me crazy.
Yeah, I'm thinking, of starting a book entitled "We Are the Last," because we're the last of the old school guys that are still standing. And you look at the bass fishermen coming up, all the electronics that they were born with, we didn't have.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They have no idea.
Uh-uh.
Like what we're used to. Like, you stand there. If you're like me, you stand there, and I'm sure you're like me. You stand there and you study and you scan, and you are the electronics.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to make friends be one with the fish. Be sensitive enough to feel the barometric change, watch what the birds are doing, know what they're doing when you see they're doing something, look at the landscape and see what the bugs and Lake Pleasant where you're going to be seeing deer, donkey, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And if they're down, pack it up, go to the beach.
Yeah.
Yep, load the boat and go.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. I remember when we had when the pager came out, I thought that was big time. But we were the only thing we had there was a couple of Bill Dance had a TV show. Okay, hang on, we're coming back. Alrighty, we're back visiting with exotic destination fishermen from downtown Panama. That's so exciting. What's your favorite destination overall?
My favorite destination right now is any saltwater destination.
Anything.
Primarily warm water. I used to live out in Northern California, so fishing out of a place called Bodega Bay, just north of San Francisco.
That's cold water.
That was cold water,
And it's bumpy.
and it's really bumpy. And you know, if you get seasick, you're going to get seasick for sure there. But I've learned to just love warm water, saltwater fishing, tuna, dorado,
Love it.
cubera snapper, giant fish that will inhale a 10-inch popper on the
Yeah.
surface. It's
Yeah.
just, there's just nothing like it to see this fish explode on these poppers like a surface-to-air
There's
missile
nothing like
coming out of the water.
Boom. That's crazy. Well, we're going to try to get a hold of Captain Bill. I don't see that. I think the Malahini boat's probably out. They're probably dragging reefs in the kelp forest. They may be down at the islands, but I'm not sure. They've been doing multiple, up to 7-day trips on the bigger boat, the Horizon. Both his boats are 80 footers. One's 20 feet wide, the other one's 25 feet wide, and they do a really good job. So we'll see. But the past few years we've had these pods of bluefin, and we get the little firecrackers up to 45, 65 pound schools. And Brian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're in there catching these fun fish, and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose because here comes the boxcar size guys coming in there, snapping lines, popping rods. Anglers are squealing and boom. It's like
Yeah.
what? And it just happened.
Yeah. But interesting enough, over the last 6, 8, 10 years out of San Francisco, they're getting these warm water species. They're getting billfish, they're getting mahi-mahi, they're getting the bluefin tuna, they're getting giant fish
Yeah.
that never were up in those waters before. And it's just very common every year to start seeing these. As a matter of fact, I think it was just a few months ago they were getting the white sea bass in San Francisco Bay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, these are 30 to 40 pound fish.
Yeah. They went away for a long time, and then there was a moratorium on keeping them. You can't dictate what you're going to catch, but they're immediate release. But they're making a pretty good comeback.
Yeah.
We got them down south, but this year, last year, and the year before, after that I can't remember. Don't really care, but what is normal in the fishing world is 2 months behind, and it equates to the terrestrial side of life, hunting as well. It's like the breeding behavior is way off. The elk weren't bugling when they were supposed to be bugling, and they're not doing what they ought to be doing. It's just everything is late. So do you find that down in your neighborhood?
Yes, last year when we moved to Panama, the bite was absolutely incredible. And we got there in the middle of the season at the end of June, so I started fishing there in July. But then when this July came around in July 2025, the fishing just changed because apparently there was no upswelling that would change the amount of bait in the water and the water currents and
That's a
things
big
like
deal.
that. And the bite just never happened. And just like you said, I was expecting to be there fishing, but then all of a sudden I had some health issues, and so we had to leave to come to Arizona. And so my fishing guide friends back there in Panama, it was the same week that I left, they were sending me pictures of the bite, the corvina, the grouper, the snappers, and I said, oh my God, this is what I'm missing. And this is exactly when the fish were supposed to hit last year, but because of that upswelling that didn't happen, you know, it was late this year.
Have you been there long enough to experience any of the offshore storms coming in there and wreaking havoc?
I've been there only a little over a year and a half, and the weather, we just don't get hurricanes or tornadoes. People think that we do, but just how Panama's located,
Well, it seems like you get a lot of residual
we just
you know,
get the residual. You're
blowing
right.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wind and rain, but it comes and goes very quickly.
Boom, boom,
Yeah.
in and out. Have you spent any time in the jungle?
No, not yet.
Okay, good.
Yeah, probably won't.
No. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't know what's in the jungle.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't need any mosquito bites or anything.
No, we've got Chris Rich. I'll introduce you to. He spends quite a bit of time down in the Amazon fly fishing for the big peacock bass, 3-bar butterflies, and so on and so forth. And like David Fields, but these guys are taking inshore trips. They're flying into Manaus, making their way via float plane 600 miles into the interior and getting to fish some places that don't really get fished a lot.
Right.
Yeah, you know,
I've always wanted to do that, and
you have to do that.
yeah, and now that you've mentioned David Fields, I just actually met David for the first time back in September. And David and a good friend of ours, Rich Calcutt, we were all fishing out there for the bull redfish.
And what would you fish, Louisiana Delta?
No, we were fishing out of a town called Oriental, North Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, and the funny thing is, when I got there, I looked around town and I didn't see any Orientals or Asians. And funny thing, I asked where they are, and they kind of looked at me oddly, and they said, we don't know much about how the town was named Oriental.
Really?
So I started a little story that it was my great ancestors that migrated here many years ago, and I'm
Before Columbus?
yeah, and I was one of the descendants. So make sure that I get into the fishing.
Yeah, there you go. That's awesome. Yeah, and being familiar with those folks down there, they believed it too.
They did.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Oh God, I love that part of the country. Yeah, we've fished down there for redfish in the Louisiana Delta. That's all. That's just a kick. And fishing down there is just it's like going to another planet with the fishing's one thing, but then you got the alligators and the snakes and then the indigenous people sitting on the porch with a shotgun, guarding their fishing dock, and they'll shoot at you.
Right. Well, one thing I have to say I was a little disappointed about was, I expected to go there and catch some redfish and eat them the same day.
Of course.
And I didn't realize that they had a size limit, 18 to 27 inches. And unfortunately, for me, all the fish that we caught were over 40 inches. So we had to let them all go.
Oh, no. That's bizarre. All right, well, hold that thought. I think Rebecca's going to try to get a hold of David, give him a shout. Maybe we can hit him on for a few minutes. But hey, I'm Don McDowell. This is Don McDowell Outdoor Radio on iHeartMedia and Fox Sports with our good friend Brian Wong here from Panama. We're going to try to reach David Fields Fishing the Americas, and we will be back. I just don't know where that Horizon schedule is. Oh, they've been doing really pretty good.
Yeah.
Are you in the
The yellowfin are way late. really late,
Yeah.
2 months late. And I don't know if we, there's nothing on the fish count.
Yeah.
They don't have any half days, half day trips. That's it.
Yeah. It's all about the water temperature and
Well, what
where-
happens historically in San Diego? You're right, but the anglers quit coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. That's why I started telling you about the boxcar size bluefin.
Yeah.
They don't go away.
Yeah.
They hang out on Tanner Banks and
Maybe part of the answer to that question is why would they, when out of San Francisco, they're getting them there?
yeah,
Why would you trailer your boat hours south, to go out and try and catch them when you only have to go an hour and a half instead?
yeah.
Yeah. So we never got that here before, up in Northern California and all the way up into Oregon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you guys? When's the last time you saw albacore?
Well, they're there every year now, out of Bodega Bay. And
You're catching them up there.
Absolutely.
We haven't seen albacore down here for 15 years.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah. No, I mean it's just it's a wide open bite for them, and out of Fort Bragg, they're getting them as close as 10 miles sometimes, which is close.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Where in times past they'd come in pretty close, maybe to the 9 Mile bank, but normally you're having to run. You got David? Oh, we got David.
oh, cool.
Thank you so much. Was he awake? Okay.
Can we give Justin a call too? Do you have time to do that?
We'll make time.
Okay, great. Yeah, I really
I
appreciate
just got to
him.
figure out when we're going to do it. Let's see. We can probably get him
At the end, if possible.
well, I've got a segment at the beginning of the next hour. Excuse me. We'll probably get him at 8 o'clock. We'll give him a call, give him a text, and give him a heads up. Because we were out late yesterday. I'm a Knights Templar, and we had a covenant and investiture yesterday. We brought in 5 transferees from California and inducted one new postulant. Alrighty, we're back. We've got another good friend, longtime good friend, David Fields, is joining us. David, what's happening, my friend?
David, your friend Brian is doing fantastic. Good to hear from you. And thanks for the introduction to Dawn. And Dawn's introduced me to Justin and Patty, a fishing guide out here, who I hope to go fishing with here in the next week or two. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Well, I have to ask, what's going on with the fishing in your world? Well, he sounds like a pretty good guy. I'm gonna have to get his address, because I've got some air miles stacked up. Well, knowing David was coming on, I was looking at all the opportunities to fish exotics down there. So it became bucket list. So you got an extra room, or probably going to have to sleep out on the porch. Well, as long as they don't have any raccoons, that's the main thing. Well, as it turned out, I finally met my guardian angel. It was a raccoon with a crowbar. So, I mean, what could go wrong? Yeah, there you go. Well, when are you coming out here? You got any plans to travel out west? Okay. Well, do you have any parting words for Mr. Wong here? Oh my goodness. You know, I still have his phone number in my phone. I just don't have the heart to hit delete. Well, Brian was telling the story about Oriental back in the Carolinas, that his ancestors were the founders of it.
You knew that, David, didn't you? Yeah, isn't that incredible? Absolutely. And after that little sit down, the stories that are created that carry on for decades after.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's called history. It's all good stuff. You know, all three of us, include he's going to meet Chris Rich here uh, next hour. And Chris is like the rest of it. If there's a puddle, he's going to fish it. Be a mud puddle.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So that's kind of the way we are. So, David, I'm going to wish you the best the rest of the weekend. God love you. I appreciate you playing along today, and we'll catch up. The next couple of weeks. You got it, buddy.
Great, David. Nice hearing your voice, and I look forward to fishing with you again. Okay.
All right, gentlemen. David, thank you so much. Okay, you know, that's David's a heck of a guy.
He's just absolutely wonderful.
You know, he is. He's a good Christian man, and we've shared days and days and days and days on the water. We spent a lot of time down in Mexico. We fished Huitas. You know, they had that trophy bass lodge down there that went south, let's say. And then we spent probably one of the better fishing trips I've ever had anywhere was on El Salto. The bass they were monsters, and they were stupid. They would eat anything, you know, whatever you threw on, they'd want to chew on it. And we caught fish, and we caught fish, and we caught fish, and we got into a submerged cemetery, and the bass were hanging around the headstones that were left. So, you know, if you could target a headstone, you were going to get a breeder. It was all good. It was crazy. So
Amazing.
yeah, have you had the opportunity to fish bass in Mexico?
I've fished bass in Northern California, not El Salto or Mexico bass fishing, but you know, I always thought about it, but I thought if I was going to go international and do some bass fishing, I wanted to go to the Amazon and fish for the giant peacocks. Is what I wanted to do. So
Nothing like it.
now that I know David and Rich, I think I'll hook up with them at some point.
Yeah, Chris Rich would be a guy to talk to. He doesn't do conventional rod and reel. They're strictly fly guys. But they catch some monster fish. So anyway, we got to flip into a break here at Fox Sports, and when we come back, I'm going to give your new best friend Justin Patty a text and see if he can join us on the air and get his take on what's happening. Because you know, the stripers are always there at Lake Pleasant, but there's certain times of the year that the big ones want to come up and chew on stuff. So anyway, we'll flip into a little break here and see if we can get a hold of Justin and get him on the telephone. I'm Don McDowell with
Brian Wong.
We will be right back here on Fox Sports 910. Yeah, hang on, I'm sending him a text. You want to write the number down? 623 293 0718. Justin.
You were asking me about my cancer. I was diagnosed, well, I've had 3 cancers a couple of years ago all at the same time, went through treatments, and in June it poked its head up again, and in July I was diagnosed with high-grade aggressive papillary bladder cancer.
Oh, geez.
And this was in July. And I've been, you know, a believer in God, and I've meditated for like the last 35, 40 years. And I said,
He's ready
to heal myself. And sure enough, I came here, and the doctor at Mayo, the first thing he said was, based on your records, we're going to probably have to remove your bladder. And I said, you ever have miracles happen? And then he says, occasionally, it's very rare. And then we said, how rare? And he says, maybe once a month. Well, once a month isn't really rare And then my wife said, has it happened yet this month?
Have you got a
He
magic?
says, no. And I said, I'm going to be your miracle. So 3 weeks later, after doing all the tests, I get a phone call. They said, well, we thought we were going to have to tell you you'd have to remove your bladder, but there's no cancer. And they removed the tumor that was high grade, invasive, gone. So thank the Lord.
Yes.
You know, it's like, call it what you want.
If you got a magic button in there to push to, so we can hear the listeners on the
That
stream.
is amazing. So you're in remission all
Well,
of your
the
chemo
phone calls aren't coming through.
Right now.
now.
Yeah, but I have to go. I'm supposed
No, they're
to
not coming
start
through
a
on the
preventive
stream. They're
preventative
probably
treatment
they're coming through on the
2 weeks
radio,
ago,
but they're not
but I
making it
still
over
got
to
some
the stream.
bleeding, and so we're 2 weeks behind schedule, and we leave on December 28th to go back. So I'm not sure if we're gonna have to extend, because once I go back, then Mayo's here and I'm in Panama, so we're trying to figure things out.
Now, how does your insurance there cover?
Medicare. Yeah, there's no Medicare in Panama.
We got him.
Okay, great.
Yeah, yeah. Now, is he going to use live bait, or is he going to be trolling?
Dynamite.
Dynamite is good. Alrighty, we're back. We got our friend Justin Patty has joined us. Brian and Justin are going to spend a little bit of time together with Worms and a Bobber out on Lake Pleasant. Justin, how the heck are you, buddy? Hey, Justin.
John, are you there?
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, sorry, I got in my truck and it linked up with some. How you doing?
Yeah, you know, we're good. We're excited to have you join us. I haven't talked to you forever. You're going to have to get yourself in here in the studio and drink some coffee, and eat some donuts, and then what do you got in store for Mr. Wong here?
Well, man, I listened to his story this morning and I feel like he's experienced it all. He's kind of living out all my bucket list fishing trips. So,
Yeah, yeah.
fishing Lake Pleasant, but we're going to try to get him out there on some stripers. We've been kind of holding off until the bigger ones pull up and this weather is exactly what we need. They really like cool, cold, flowing water. So Lake Pleasant is just a big reservoir and it's really, really shallow right now. It's about 50 meters dead cold. So the big ones are still deep, but we get one cold trend like this, they will actually pull up in the Great Channel and start catching them on some fun stuff. Catch them on the reaction baits, like the 66 baits and the live baits and the
How big of swim baits are you using?
well, I typically,
Well, some of those white bass are, you know, they get the size of baby moon hubcaps. Oh my gosh.
They do, and they get really aggressive when they start spawning, and they're really fun to catch. You can catch them on everything. And
Yeah, that's a mistake because they're pretty good table fare.
yeah, they are. I'm pretty particular when I eat them. I try to eat them in the colder months. We get a lot more firmer.
Yes, sir.
Tastes a little bit more like striper. And then you got the
Just go ahead.
medium size ones too. That way it's more explain them, but they're great eating, just like the striper. So hopefully we'll get on them here in the next week or two. I've got a busy schedule now, Brian. Doing some stuff, ready to try to intercept here. So this cooler weather, I'm anticipating it for sure.
Justin, I have a question for you. You know, I've fished with a lot of fishing guides over the years, and one of the things that most impressed me about your services and you in particular is the fact that you said right up front that you're not going to take me unless fishing's good. And I've been out with guides that after I got there, they said, "Oh, well, you know, I was going to wait a couple of days. It's a little slow right now. It'll be better next week." Well, why didn't you tell me that? But I'm sure there's a lot of listeners out there that maybe aren't experienced as yourself, Don, or myself, but um, tell me a little bit about, you know, taking a novice, a beginner out, a single mom or dad with a kid that loves to fish. And do you do that?
Oh, for sure. You know, and I'm a little different than the other guys. I mean, I'm a Phoenix fireman, so that's my primary source of income. So I don't have to fish every day, and I do a couple other things too to make some extra money. So guiding is kind of for me, it's actually really stressful and it's tough fishing. So there's a couple things that I do, especially with kids. It's a little different. This time of year, you can catch shad really easy back in the green channel. So if I can go back down there and catch live shad or live shrimp, it just makes such a good trip for the clients, especially the kids. I mean, they have a ball. The hardest thing in Arizona is getting kids to actually love fishing because it is so hard to catch them here. So when they're catching fish, they're gonna get addicted to it. And it just makes the day go by so much better. So I will go and catch the live bait, keep them alive. And when you get increase your catch ratio annually, now there is you know, this time of year when it doesn't cool down, it gets a lot easier to where you can catch them on the reaction bait too. So we'll get more advanced anglers, and then I always cater to the client. So if I take out, you know, Brian wants to go out with me next week, he says I absolutely despise fishing with live bait. I do not want to. I'm like, all right, that's let's go throw the square bills and the spare baits around the wood. Let's throw the live bait. If we can't get you your UPC largemouth striper, which I'm assuming based on your it's tough to fit striper in fishing, but the bigger ones do. I think bigger, like the better grade striper, it's probably like the 9 to 11 pound range will get up pretty shallow this time of year. So that gives you an opportunity to catch them when most of the year they're shallow or they're really deep. So kind of helps out with the beginner anglers as well. Most of my clients throw spinning tackle, you know, so they'll be spinning the 7-foot medium action basics with a spinning reel, really easy to have, and you know I can take you from an underspin to a quarter mil, you know, anything that's really easy for their shaft, and that makes it an enjoyable trip for everybody.
What about going down with 1.5 ounce jig spoons?
Well, you know, this year was an off year for the big stuff. I absolutely love getting the big spoons on the stripers. For whatever reason, I think it has something to do with the water levels out of Lake Pleasant. They just didn't really get on the big spoons this year that well, but that is my favorite. And normally it's a little
Hey, Justin, hang on. Can you join us after the break? Okay, we got to flip into a hard break here with Justin here at Fox Sports 910. We'll be right back with more.
Dawn, she's pointing.
You what? What?
I love helping kids fish.
Do you?
Yeah, it's my passion.
That's awesome.
Yeah, teaching.
Mm-hmm.
I've taught
Okay.
hundreds of people.
That's neat. It's so cool. I teach junior high.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes. For 18 years. I've taught.
wow.
Yeah.
Have you got two phone lines working? Okay, well, Matthew said there was two phone lines working, so never mind. Well, I just need to, for political purposes, give Chemo a call, let it ring 2 times, hang up. Okay. Either do that on your cell phone. Okay, thank you. Woo!
You know, Don, the first time I went fishing was with a bent nail, a garlic scented marshmallow, and a piece of cotton string on a stick.
Yeah.
Didn't catch shit.
Wow.
How old were you?
6 or
Yeah,
7.
that's great. Now, did you bring any equipment up with you?
No, we just had stuff to come directly to Mayo Clinic. That's
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Fishing was a bonus if
Yeah,
I could
absolutely.
fit it in. Yeah,
Well, there's some pretty big stripers out there.
yeah.
I would guess 40, 50, maybe into the 60-pound range.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, stripers is like one of my favorite fish. I used to fish the Napa River, Napa Valley.
Wow. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
this was
Yeah.
about 3 years ago.
I got a good picture on my my website. We're fishing Chesapeake.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've always wanted to go there too.
That's a good place, and we did exact. If you can see this, you come around. I don't know if I can turn that.
Oh, jeez.
Got 4 of those in a day. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's where the striper paradise is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you what, they hit with a vengeance. Ooh.
Those Corvina they're fighters, and I've caught hundreds of stripers, and these Corvina pound for pound will kick the striper's ass. Seriously.
Oh yeah.
Like, well, you fish saltwater fishing, but man, incredible.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. I'd like to get back down to East Cape. I've got it hung up in my head. I want to catch a 12-foot hammerhead.
Really.
Yeah. I don't know where that comes from. Okay, we're back visiting with famed angler Justin Patty. Justin, thank you so much. So when do you think you guys are going to hit the waterways? No, we've got rain scheduled all week, so you think you're going to pass this week, maybe go out next week?
Yeah, I actually have somebody out there today. There is a possibility we could make it out tomorrow if it's
Ooh.
not too bad. But I'm pretty booked up this week, so I'm hoping to maybe let the rain settle, kind of cool the water temperatures down a little bit, and then hopefully get fine out there the following week. I think that might be ideal for both of us. So that's the plan for now. But there's, like I said, I've got a buddy out there today that's really good fisherman, and if he tells me it's on and they're catching them, we could possibly go tomorrow. But I haven't talked to Brian about it. So that's the plan.
Well, David feels we had one of Mr. Wong's friends, David, that he's fished with, and he's suggesting that perhaps you need to give him a Snoopy Go Get 'Em rod, a bobber, and some hot dogs.
Well, I've got young boys, so I can definitely.
There you go.
Yeah, like I said, I cater to my clients and so taking out. So I'm pretty confident Brian's going to be able to.
Yeah, if he's fishing, if he's hanging out with Fields, he's one of the best of the best. So
Yeah, and I'm excited to get out with him. It sounds like he's very knowledgeable, and a lot of the stuff a lot of the trips that I'd like to take my boys to someday. We'll take Bull Red as one of probably the first trips on my bucket list. I'm excited to do, so I know we'll worry about that. But he definitely sounds like a fish head to me, so I think we're gonna
oh yeah.
enjoy each other's company. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, we'd like to have you guys in. Brian, how long are you going to be here in the
I'll
area?
be here till the end of December.
Oh my gosh, maybe we can get you and Brian in here together, and get Dave on the fields, and then we can have a group pick on Brian.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Keep me posted. I'm going to be trying to get everybody out as much as I can before they close the river down. We get the Eagle closure.
Yeah.
Just start firing off like crazy and out in the free right before then. So, yeah, it'll be great to get out hopefully at least once or twice before then and get on the show and talk about it. It's great.
Outstanding, outstanding. Okay, what advice do you have for Brian coming in?
As far as fishing with me, like I said, I typically call every angler before a trip and I kind of feel them out with it. I mean, I'm pretty confident that he's gonna, we're just not gonna go out there. We're gonna have fun and fish hard. I mean, it's especially when we're trying to schedule around both of our schedules and stuff. So we want to make sure that it's all about the days and all the weather, the pressure systems and all that, so I don't have to explain any of that to him, but I think just having a good positive attitude, and then people hire me because they love fishing, you know what I mean? If they did love fishing, they wouldn't have the same attitude, but most people that get out there is out there to have a good time and I know they all expect to catch fish, but just expect to have a good time and hopefully catching fish is just icing on the cake.
Yeah, sometimes that's a big bonus, and I was just thinking about that. We've been talking about all kinds of stuff, and that's one of the things fishing with Captain Bill. The only thing Captain Bill wants to hear when you get off the boat is, "Gee, I had a really great time," and
I just took a trip out in San Diego last week, and they were on the one-day boat, and that captain worked his tail off all day, never stopped. Kind of reminded me of like just how I fish, just trying to get on fish. And we didn't really land on them, but I could just tell they never gave up.
Yeah.
Never stopped and let us just fish just to keep us occupied, and that's all we could ask for. We ended up catching some yellowtails, but
that's good.
I'm not getting that guy out there, but
What boat did you get on?
I got on the San Diego. I was going to jump on the overnight
Yeah.
Getting a bunch of bluefin and yellowfin. I could tell what he was doing. He was just moving. He kept moving. He never stopped. So we looked up on the troll, and that is something that I've never done out there. But it seemed like the guys that had troll rigs out there, they were getting big yellowfin, and then we dropped the fly line. I ended up having to catch some yellowtail on the iron. That's my favorite way of doing it. But I really wanted to get a bluefin or two, and I unfortunately didn't find something. But I saved the trip by catching bring home some yellowtail.
Yeah, yellowtail. Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorites. That's, as far as I'm concerned, I like it all. But if I had a choice, if I had yellowfin, bluefin, or yellowtail, put the yellowtail on the plate. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides that, they're pretty fun. I got into a habit taking my bass rod, a 7.6 that James Guggenauer built for me for Roosevelt, and I got into the throwing spinner baits at the patties, and catching 15 to 25 pound yellowtail on the bass rod, and I tell you what, doesn't get any better than that right there. Man.
That is funny. It's funny too because that is why I love fishing for the big striper around Lake Pleasant so much because I went on a boat and I started catching yellowtail on the iron and just that you jump in the boat, bomb that thing out there, you burn it in and those yellowtail string your drag and so I actually started practice my casting and I started putting big stripers on it and I was like, well shit, this is just like yellowtail fishing.
Oh yeah.
I get it. It's addictive.
Well, that's great stuff. So, anyway, you got any parting shots at Justin so far?
Well, Justin, I heard that there's a new category for stripers out here, and I hope to be able to get my name on the new IGFA for stripers on the Snoopy outfit.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, you got a new nickname, Snoopy Wong. Oh, here we go. All right, we're going to wish you the best the rest of the day, Justin. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you taking care of Mr. Wong here. And we'll look forward to having you and he in the studio. Now, he's not a coffee drinker. Donuts?
Sure.
Okay, donuts. Okay. All right. Justin, thank you so much, buddy, man. I appreciate what you're doing. Okay, we lost him someplace. Okay. Are we on break? Okay. Well, there you have it.
There you have it. Thank you.
Yeah, Justin's a great guy. I wanted to ask him what boat he's running. Did he tell you what he's running?
Did not.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if we can't find out. So when let's change gears and go back down to Panama. When you guys are out running, do you go strictly out to the lodge, or do they pick you up and you go by the boat?
So what happens is you fly into Panama City. Our tour operator will pick you up at the airport, transfer you to the Marriott's where you'll spend the afternoon, evening there, and the next morning they'll pick you up and shuttle you to the local airport where you'll get about a 35-40 minute in-country flight out to an airport called David. There, it's a 10-minute ride to the marina where Shane and his crew will pick you up and boat you out to the lodge, which is 12 miles offshore.
Okay.
Then the next day you spend fishing and all the meals, gourmet, fish, lobster, shrimp, everything. It's just spectacular food. Fish
Now, do
there.
they run you guys out off the island in center consoles, or?
Center console, yeah, wide open, incredible fishing, and I personally have a trip for myself scheduled for next July, and this particular week this particular month and this particular time of the year it's just going to be a wide open bite for, as I was telling you earlier, topwater bite for tuna, yellowfin tuna, dorado, roosterfish, cubera snapper, and that's just what I love because I'm a bass fisherman at heart.
Yeah.
And you know, back in California, that's all that I did was largemouth bass fishing, and topwater is just what I truly love.
Well, yeah, I'm a topwater guy. I've got a number 574 Bobina lures on the Rico side called a hammer shad. We did quite a bit of research on the colors, and I'll tell you what, I love topwater.
There's
just-
nothing like it.
You know, you mentioned tuna hitting topwater. If you're a topwater guy and you haven't caught a tuna on topwater, you need to do that.
Yeah.
It's almost a religious experience. So, all right, we're gonna flip into a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk to Chris Rich and see what he's been up to. I know he's been to the White Mountains and some other exotic places that he and Brian talk about. I'm Don McDowell with,
Brian Wong.
and this is Fox Sports 910.
I didn't tell you that I was teaching fly fishing at 15, did I?
What's that?
I didn't tell you that I was teaching fly fishing at 15.
No.
I started fly fishing when I was 13.
Oh my
I
goodness.
worked in a fly shop, and then I was teaching guys that were 20, 30, 40.
Start that over. Wait a minute. This will be good. Okay. Get ready, get set.
Did I tell you that I was teaching fly fishing since I was 13 years old?
No way.
Yeah. And on my way home from middle school, I happened to see this shop door open one day, and I went in, and it was a retail fly fishing store, and got to know the owner, and he sat me down at the fly tying bench, and I was tying flies, and a few weeks later I noticed that he was putting the flies that I was tying into these little plastic bags,
Yeah.
and then stapling them on a card, and he was selling the flies that I was tying, and I had no idea, but you know, I didn't get paid for it, but my payment was he gave me a lifetime of knowledge that I turned it into a business when I was 20 years old.
Wow.
Owning my own fishing store.
Well, you and Chris got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, and I've taught, then I became a fly fishing instructor, and I've taught well over 1,000 people how to cast.
Oh my goodness! What you spent a lot of time with your fly rod on the saltwater?
Some.
Some.
It's a little different. Mostly,
it's way different.
Mostly, it was for down in on the East Cape for the Dorado and some billfish down there, and Costa Rica for sailfish.
Wow, so it should be a good interview with Chris.
That's a great story.
It looks like Justin's running a Skeeter bass boat.
Good.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go on a pontoon. I can't stand
No,
fishing.
I'm with you. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're back. Say hello to Chris Rich, finally back in the USA. What's happening, my brother? Well, I want to introduce you to our new good friend. Yeah, and I didn't know that he was a fly fishing instructor until about 2 minutes ago. Brian Wong from Panama is up here. He's in studio with us.
Nice to meet you, Chris. How are you?
All right, so no, yeah, just take it from the top, man. It's all about you. Go. Yep. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Well, that's good fun. Talk a little bit. How'd you guys end up down in the Amazon? Oh, baby. Whoa. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Jeez. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Brian and I were talking about that earlier. You know, when we started, we had a magazine. That's it. Yes, sir. Yep. Been there, done that with you. Yes, sir. In fact, I still have a library card. Okay, so what's next? What's happening at the fly shop? Yeah. Oh boy. Of course. Yes, sir. No, they don't exist. Yes, sir. Well, I think you ought to look at your schedule and we need to advertise a special class, Bugs with Brian Wong down there. Get him tying some of his famous baits.
You know, Chris, Dawn never mentioned, but when I was 13, I learned how to fly cast. And when I was 15, I was teaching. And when I was 20 years old, I bought my own fishing store. And I was teaching. I was the assistant casting pool fly casting director for the Russian River fly fishers. And as a matter of fact, speaking of the Russian River, that is where the trout steelhead came. The steelhead came from the Russian River in California and were transplanted in New Zealand. That's where they came from.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Who knew?
And I would so much love to be a part of your casting clinic if we could, you know, if it works out in your schedule and my schedule. I'm going through some health treatments right now, but if it works out, I've taught well over 1,000 people over the years, and I consider myself to be, you know, really good at teaching fly fishing. So I would be honored. We're just visiting here until the end of December, and I'm in Scottsdale, I think.
Yeah.
Near Desert Ridge.
Okay.
Yeah, out there by the Mayo Clinic. Perfect. Yeah. Not yet. Yeah. Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I'm not really sure what my schedule is going to be. We're supposed to be doing some traveling, delivering pipe troughs and all that stuff to the ranching community. It doesn't look like, because of the weather, I'm going to be doing some stuff. There's some places that I'm not going to go if it's raining. I'll pull on a stock trailer. So I may just call you and pick you up. We'll go have a ham sandwich and go down there and torment Mr. Rich.
Sounds great. to
One
me.
of the favorite. That's one of the things I like to do the best.
Yeah, I'd love to get my,
yeah, big
lo-
boy.
love to get my hand on a fly rod and beginner, young kids and even old kids to teach them.
Well,
Yeah.
Chris has got this thing going on with catching grass carp. I'm serious. They've got a big grass carp rally, a film festival. Yeah, this guy's awesome. I'm telling you.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is. It just totally.
Okay.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go get him, and I'll make a commitment to both of you guys. We'll see you this week. All right, man. We gotta go to a break. Good to talk to you, man. We've been missing your input. So, Chris Rich, check him out at the AZ Fly Shop there on Cactus, just west of the Area 51 highway. I'm Don McDowell. We're going into a break here at Fox Sports 910, and Commissioner Guggenauer up next. Time certain. That'll be a blast.
Yeah. That would be great. I mean, there are people that are good at teaching, and I had the biggest compliment. And one of my
Okay, wait. Let's get this on film here.
I had the biggest compliment from one of my students, and he's a retired physician, and he told me, he said, "You've heard of Lefty Kreh, haven't you?" And I said, "Absolutely." And he says, "You teach equally or better than Lefty Kreh." And I said, "Well, I don't know about that." But he said, "No, really." And that was one of the biggest compliments that I ever received about my teaching abilities of fly
Well,
casting.
That's amazing. We'll go get down to AZ Fly Shop and see if we can teach Chris Chris something. Yeah, I love it. You guys are the best. How you doing, Teach?
Good. I just turned it down so you could record.
Oh,
and
okay,
It wouldn't
thank
be.
Yeah. She's a school teacher.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just say yes, ma'am, and it's good.
Yeah.
What I did learn the hard way is that you can't possibly believe that. Don't tell her that.
When I was growing up, my dad, when I was like six,
Lavender?
about,
Is that lavender?
Yeah, that's good.
when I was about 8 years old, my dad fell down at work, and he was in the Army Air Corps. And at that age, kids don't know what's going on, and he kept falling down at work to the point where they had to lay him off.
Oh my gosh.
And so my mom was a stay-at-home mom. We had 7 kids. And so at that point, I just remember, before that, I remember that my dad was a big hunter, a big fisherman, and these are things that I was just too young to go and experience it with him. So I always wanted to do that. Well, when I was old enough to do that with him, he was disabled, sitting in a wheelchair, and he just sat there like this, and you could see that he was in there, but he couldn't communicate, he couldn't do anything. And so for my whole life, up until recently, I was angry, and I felt maybe abandoned, that, here other people, kids that had their father and they got to go hunting and fishing and doing different things. My father was a tennis champion, he was a bowling champion, he went fishing, he went hunting, and he did all these things. But it was only until 2 weeks ago, this is the God's truth, 2 weeks ago, that I learned that all this anger that I was carrying about the abandonment and everything, he gave me a gift and I didn't even know it, because I was good at tennis, I was good at bowling, and I became a hunter and a fisherman, taking people on hunting and fishing trips around the world. And he gave me these gifts and I didn't even know it.
God love you.
That's
Wow.
awesome. That is a great story.
We need to get that on.
Too late.
Need to do that. Okay. Time certain. Coming to the podium next, Commissioner James Guggenauer. How are you doing, Captain James? I'm just betting you guys are just getting a bucket full. Wow. It's a good day to watch NASCAR. Oh, that's right. We don't have NASCAR. Okay, I guess we'll have to we'll have to watch football. No, not at all. And I just miss it. I think that'll make him race 12 months out of the year. Yeah. So anyway, that's just me. I want to introduce you to our new best friend, Brian Wong. He's here from Canada, and
Panama.
yeah, What did I say, Canada? What the hell's the matter with me?
I don't know, it's too cold there for me.
Oh yeah. Anyway, turns out he's a fly fishing aficionado, hunting guide, exotic fishing guide. I said, wow. And now we're going to get him hooked up with Chris Rich, and I'll bet you $1 to donut he's going to be fishing the canal here next week. Grass carp. Okay, what's going on at Roosevelt besides they're getting some much needed water right now? Yeah. Anybody on rattle traps? Yeah. Yep. 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 In the crawdad flavor? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Okay, what is your report on the terrestrial side on the hunting at this point? Because we've got deer going on, we've got elk going on all over the place. I got guys up in 6B. We've got guys out in 39 that did very well. So, what's your take? Oh yeah, yeah. Nice. Oh, wow. that's, that's crazy. How many last year do you have that offhand? Comparatively? Okay, well, maybe that's something we can look up next week. 'Cause it's, Brian and I were talking, he's from Panama, and globally, like you and I have been talking back and forth, for the last couple of years, the weather patterns, I'm tying it to the yellow fin, everything in Panama is laid offshore. I mean, we're goofed up. Yeah, I mean, we're just goofed up. Oh yeah. Well, it's real interesting trying to figure out what this. In fact, that's what I'm going to be doing this afternoon is trying to put together my own prediction on the weather conditions that we're going to be experiencing. Uh, Personally, I think we're going to be, this week excluded. We're going to be, fairly dry winter. I'm hearing on the east side of the state, we're going to have a little bit more moisture than the west side. And we've got some situations going on down at Unit 39. It's like Glendale's getting clobbered. Gila Bend's not getting anything. It's just it's bizarre. So okay, Brian's fishing all over the planet. I can tell you, James goes to Dunkerby Lodge up in British Columbia. You familiar with that?
I am. That's on my bucket list.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
This is the guy to carry your bucket right here.
Okay. All right. You'll carry my bucket for me?
let me put it this way: he builds fishing rods for him.
Oh, okay.
This is how good James is at Rim Country Custom Rods. Absolutely the best. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. All right. Well, we're going to wish you the best the rest of the day. Certainly stay dry. Keep your powder dry up there. I'm hearing rumors there's people in Payson standing in their driveway taking pictures of elk. What do you know about that? Okay. All right, God love you. We appreciate all you do for us. James Guggenauer, Rim Country Custom Rods, and second term game commissioner. I'm Don McDowell,
And Brian Wong.
and we'll be back to get this thing wrapped up. Yeah. What time are we out? Copy 57.
Yeah, I watched the Duncanby.
What's that?
I watched the Duncanby on Outdoor Channel.
Yeah.
With Mark Davis on the fishing programs. Well, not with Mark Davis, but he's a buddy from Crocodile Bay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Duncanby up there in British Columbia. Yeah, that was, it's funny. That was my old life. Was the cold water fishing, but my new life is the warm water fishing.
Warm water. Yeah. Tell me about your dad again.
Where from?
The story you told me about.
The beginning.
Yeah. Steve. Yeah. Okay. Go.
So when I was growing up, my father was an avid sportsman, athlete, champion tennis player, 300 game bowler, hunter, fisherman, but I was too young to actually go fishing or hunting or do any of the things with him. And so when I was old enough to actually participate in hunting and fishing with him, it turns out that he had gotten sick. And back then they didn't have a name for cancer, but he had something called Lou Gehrig's disease.
Oh yeah.
And so from about 9 or 10 years old until I was 19 when he passed away, I always wanted to be able to experience those things with my dad, but I was never able to do that. So up until recently, I didn't realize, but he had given me a gift because I was good at tennis, I was good at bowling, but especially I was really good at hunting and fishing, and I made a business out of it.
God love your dad.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
It was an incredible gift that I didn't realize.
That's where it all begins.
That's where it all begins.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Okay.
So your dad had Lou Gehrig's,
Yeah.
and there was 7 of you. Did any of you get it?
No.
That's
No.
amazing.
Yeah. I have a condition called tremors. That are you familiar with essential tremors where your hands shake? And I had that so bad I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I couldn't hold the glass of water. And if you see my
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
and in the last couple of years it got so bad that I was like, you kind of want to think about ending your life.
Right. I can't.
But then I went to a neurologist. He told me they could give me medication, but the side effects of it was probably worse than what I was experiencing. I went online, and within a couple of days, I found that the UCSF in San Francisco, University of California, San Francisco, and Stanford had this treatment for tremors. So we were 3 months out from moving to Panama, and I couldn't get into UCSF until September, and I called the next number, which was Stanford. It turned out to be the company that actually provided the technology for it, and she goes, "Do you have a couple minutes now?" And I go, "Yeah."
Okay, we're back. Boy, fun-filled show today. We've learned a lot. I hope you had a little bit of entertainment to go along with the rainy weather we're having. So, Brian, seriously, I'm going to come out and grab you, and we'll go down and visit Chris Rich. We'll communicate Monday, Tuesday, see what this weather pattern is going to do. We've got pipe deliveries to make over on some of the ranches down by Kearney, and some stuff to take over to the Gila County Cattle Growers Association is having an annual steak fry and dinner dance kind of a deal. And we're sponsoring a 500-gallon 4 foot by 10 foot aluminum trough for them to auction off to raise some dollars for the Cattle Growers Association there in Gila County. We're heavily involved in all that kind of stuff, and trying to make a difference, trying to get wells rehabbed, put water on the ground for all God's little creatures, and even the livestock. So, it's one of the things we've learned over the years. The ranching community definitely are the stewards of the land. They take good care of it, and we try to work in conjunction and go out and do water projects. The only thing we ask that they do is they leave the water on year round, when they rotate their stock out of the area, and keep access open for sportsmen. So anyway, I appreciate you coming down. Good luck with Justin. Sounds like you guys might be on the water by the end of the week.
Yeah, hope so.
So we'll keep in touch, and if you don't go out with him, we'll go down and torment Chris Rich.
Okay, sounds good. I do have one last thing. I just wanted to mention that I have a personal fishing trip to Sportfish Panama Island Lodge, and as I mentioned to you earlier, the dates are going to be this next coming July, and I have a couple of spots still available. If any of your listeners are interested, maybe they could get a hold of you and you could put them in touch with me.
Put your phone number out right now. Send me a text. We'll get it up on Instagram, Facebook, and I've got a website, huntingfishing.com. Huntingfishing, not and fishing. Huntingfishing.com. We can put a tag up there.
Sounds great.
And if anybody's interested in what we're doing, you can go to huntingfishing.com, look at SRTO. That's our 501c3 nonprofit that is working on grants to put water on the landscape. And if you're in a position needing a tax write-off, you can write me a check. We'll put the money right straight on the ground, and more water for wildlife. So we definitely need the water. We're like 15 or 18 years into a 3-year drought. It's just crazy. Some
Amazing.
of the, where some of the areas that we go hunt, it's normally we're down in 39 where should be 65 degrees. It was 92 degrees last Saturday. I mean, it's just nuts. The elk hunting stuff that we do is up in the south end of 6A. We've not had any winter. The elk haven't moved down for 5 years. It's an over-the-counter tag. And I've been blessed in the meanwhile to get the general elk draw, for the general bull and cow seasons. But if you don't get that, you get the over-the-counter tag. It's a limited opportunity area. You can only hunt between here and there, and you can't go outside the lines, and there's no elk. they haven't migrated in. So crazy.
Crazy.
Okay, so this trip in July, what are some of the details? Tentative itinerary.
Well, the details would be, it's 4 anglers per boat, and we have 2 boats left on these particular dates, July 13th, and you would fly into Panama City, we'd pick you up at the airport, and you'd overnight in Panama City, and then the next morning you'd be transferred by air out to a small landing strip called David, and that's where Shane and his crew from Sportfish Panama Island Lodge will pick you up.
Wow.
And then it's about a 35-40 minute boat ride out to the island.
Okay, now where do you have to fly into from the continent?
You would fly into Panama City.
Panama City, okay.
Right. And then, so Shane picks you up, and then you're in the care of Shane and his wonderful crew for the next few days.
How many days? How many trips?
It's going to be a 3-day fishing trip,
Okay.
4 days if you want, and then it'll be the same return itinerary. They'll boat you back to the marina, 10-minute transfer back to the airport, and then you'll arrive back in Panama City, a short transfer back to the international airport, and you could be back wherever you live,
Yeah.
either that afternoon or early evening.
Okay, sounds like you can burn about a week, to get your travel days in there.
I would suggest overnighting, adding on maybe, 2 nights at least, so that you could go visit Panama. And when my wife and we moved there, we didn't realize that when people were telling us that Panama's a third world country, it really reminded me of being in the San Francisco Bay Area in many respects, because it's just as built up, and the high rises and the department stores and
Sure.
and the Home Depot type stores and the shopping malls. It was just like being back home in California.
Well, except they don't have a jungle.
Except, yeah, there's no jungle.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have you here, most certainly, and I'm really seriously looking forward to having you and Justin and back in studio, and we'll get into the striper fishing, because it's like anything else. There's a knack to catching crappie, there's a knack to catching bass, there's a knack to catching tuna fish, and albeit similar, it's different. You just have to learn the little nuances of, it's like the rattle traps right now up on Roosevelt, up there in the river, and at least on the northeast end. If you're not throwing a rattle trap, you're going backwards as far as I'm concerned. And learning that there's always shallow fish. I don't care what they say. They're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. And if you can learn these patterns, you're going to catch a lot of fish. People laugh at me because I'll go out and throw top water in the wintertime. And guess what? It's productive.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Another thing I wanted to add is, even though hiring a guide might be a little bit intimidating at the beginning, some people, they want to go out and just, I want to go fishing, so they go fishing, and then they don't catch anything. Well, hiring a guide, I have to tell you, is well worth the money and the experience that you're going to learn from someone like Justin.
oh yeah.
Yeah, because in one day with a fishing guide like Justin, you could learn so much, and it's a lifetime of knowledge, whereas you could go out for 10 or 20 or 30 fishing trips and never catch anything, and then you just lose interest. I'll tell you a quick story. One day, when I had my fishing store, there was a young boy named Johnny and his father that came into the store, and they caught fish once in a while, but I met them at a lake that day, and they were waiting for me until I got off work. I showed up, and I made one cast, and I hooked a fish, and then Johnny yells out across the lake, Dad, how come he just got here and caught a fish? And then my friend that was across the lake, he goes, because he's a professional.
All right, we got to go. I appreciate you joining us today. Give us a like on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. Check out huntingfishing.com and SRTO. I'm Don McDowell. Take your kids fishing, hug your bass boat. Yep, we are out of here.